Okay, it looks like we are recording.
All right, I would like to call the Town Board public hearing of the Town of Lake Mills to order. It is May 12th, 2020, 7 p.m. We are meeting digitally on Zoom. Number 2, a notice was hereby given by the Town Board of the Town of Lake Mills that a public hearing will be held on the 12th of May, 2020 at the Town Hall at 1111 South Main Street, Lake Mills, Wisconsin, after another public hearing, which begins at 7 p.m. to consider the proposed request for a conditional use permit to allow for an extensive on-site storage structure greater than 15 feet in height at W8129 Elm Point Road. The PIN number follows. The Town Board will consider the request at the monthly board meeting directly following the adjournment of the public hearing. Is there anyone available to make comment at the public hearing? Is anyone available to make comment at the public hearing?
I believe what you're asking is I am in terms of the Esser property.
Yes, go ahead, Tony.
I'm sorry, I missed half the audio at the first because I couldn't get it to run. Are you just looking for somebody to explain what's going on with that?
This is the part of the public hearing where anyone else who would like to make a comment on this property and the conditioned use would come before us. But since there is no one available, I think we will wait. And the last part of what I read said the board will entertain this directly following the adjournment of the public hearing. It is one of the first things on our list of business, okay?
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment during this public hearing? I would motion then to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll second.
Is there any
I'm going to
discussion?
say Dave second.
All right. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of adjourning the public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
The public hearing is adjourned. Now I'd like to call the Town Board meeting of the Town of Lake Mills to order, May 12th, 2020, directly following the public hearing that we had. I would call this to order. Item 2 is the motion to adopt the agenda as published. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as printed.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion on the agenda? The only thing that I would add to the agenda is that we really are not going to make any decisions tonight on the town attorney. We are still entertaining those resumes, and I think when we get to that, we can discuss it more. All in favor then of approving the agenda as published, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Item 3, approval of the minutes from our previous meeting, April 21st, 20.
I'll make a motion to approve our April 21st and wait a minute, sorry, we didn't have that, but the April 21st monthly board meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. In favor of approving the minutes as published for the April 21st, 20 meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. The minutes are approved. Item 4, approval of the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, go ahead, Jim.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the May treasurer's report, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. Thank you, and thank you, Sharon and Matt, for all your work on the dog license collecting here.
I just want to say that CD for $50,000 is due on May 24th, 2020. And the best interest rate we could get is for 26 months at 1.34%. Or we could go a 10-month for 1.19%. So it's what you would like me to go with.
Sharon, do you think that if we only went for the 10 months, that this might rebound a little bit? So we
I
should-
did, I asked the banker that, and he didn't think they would, but we can go the 10 months if you want that.
Yeah, that was the only thing I was thinking. I don't know.
Does it hurt to have the money tied up for 26 months?
That's about what we did the last time. I mean, this is our emergency one, which we tried not to dip into.
Yes, I don't have a problem with it going into 26 months. Would you like to discuss this further down the line here when we are talking about the state trust fund loan?
No, I'm okay with 26 months. I think that's a good interest rate. It's about the best you can get nowadays.
Right, and it is subject to change. I mean, the paper I have was printed on April 16th, so we'll get whatever the best rate is on the 24th if it should change.
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to go with a 26-month CD.
I'll second it.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
The same sign. Thank you, Sharon, for your work on that. And again, thank you, Matt and Sharon, for working hard on those dog licenses. Now on to number 5, approval of the general funding vouching.
I'll make a motion to approve disbursements for $32,935.71.
Second the motion.
Is there any discussion or questions?
I just want to say that check number 19265 to T. Krause Builders. The address on the occupant or on the bond and the papers said Lee Leverton's address at Highway S, but he put on a different person's name, a Thornton. So we have to check into that to make sure that it's really supposed to be Leverton and not Thornton. I think he made just a mistake, but it should be corrected in his records.
Okay, you're going to follow up on that before you post that?
Yes.
All right. Okay. We have a motion on the floor. Everyone in favor of approving the disbursements for May 12th, 2020, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, the same sign. The general funding vouching is approved. Item 6, reports. Police Chief Matt Miller.
Let me see, we had 56 hours of road patrol for the month of April. We handled 6 complaints, did 7.5 hours of spent 7.5 hours on those complaints. Did a total of 16 traffic stops, issued 8 warnings, 13 traffic citations, ran 21.5 hours of stationary radar. We did 17 business and residence checks and 27 park checks and did 2 extra patrols. The boat will go on the lift. The guys are all coming in on May 16th to put the boat on the lift and then be ready to go on the water at that time. We did get 3 applicants for one of the positions we have open on the boat patrol, and we'll be doing interviews in the next 2 weeks of those 3 for an additional boat patrolman. They'll give us 3 boat patrol officers. Other than that, that's about it.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate it. Item 7 on the agenda is a period of public comment and questions. Does anyone have anything that has been submitted? I guess I could bring up the fact that someone called and wanted to know about Shore Acres Road, and I did drive that again today, and it is in pretty bad shape, so I will add that to the pothole list. That's really the only other thing going other than our ongoing thing, Dave, over on Bridle Path.
Oh, nothing's happened there yet?
And he has agreed to meet me at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna do my best, okay?
Yep.
All
The
right.
other thing too, Hope, if you could swing by on Crossman Road, by daybreak, they replaced the culvert there on Crossman Road. And I've had a couple complaints about the excavation that they did in the town's right of way. They think it's too deep. And I'm wondering if we should require them to put in some sort of a guardrail, an angled guardrail from each end. You should drive past. And Jim, you
Okay.
might want to too. It is pretty deep.
Okay.
All right. Robin, do you have any other comments or questions that have come in from the public?
The only ones that I've received are people inquiring about the change of the date to the yard waste because they put it out for the 9th.
Yeah.
I'm going to check with John's to see if they will pick that yard waste up during their normal bulk pickup.
So we don't have another
I'm sorry, you cut out.
yard waste schedule. I thought we had 2 yard waste pickups scheduled.
When you had asked to change it to an earlier date because so many people had time to have their yard waste out sooner, I believe I had asked you if we should keep that second date for the 9th, and I believe you had said to cancel that.
Oh, that wasn't
I can,
my understanding. So I think we need
Yeah.
to do another one because I see stuff piling up again. And that's the way
Okay,
we've
I can
always
check
done
with
it,
John.
is to have, right? All right. You will contact John's then,
yes, I will.
and then you'll put that on the website so there isn't any more confusion here.
Yes.
Okay. Good public comment. Thank you. Item 8, application reviews. Discussion and decision of a request for a conditional use permit made by Tim Esser for his property on Elm Point Road. Thank you, Tim, for being patient with us through this COVID time. Now, you guys can have the floor, and I'm going to mute. So go ahead and give your spiel.
Tony, you want to explain it or you want me to?
Yep, certainly. Tim has a garage that is detached behind his home that is difficult to get into, and we've already been through adding an addition and through meetings with you in the last couple months. One of the things we'd also like to do while performing this addition is adding room and attic trusses to the top of the building to allow for additional storage space. This will not be living space, but it will put us above the 15-foot total height limit that is within the zoning ordinances. We will be, by doing this, it would make it approximately 18'11" to allow a 7-foot tall storage space on the inside. And that is what we are trying to do.
All right, that's good. Let's go this far. I would make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for Tim Esser at his property on Elm Point Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for Tim Esser, and Anthony Stenzel, with the condition that there's no future living quarters put up there.
No, no one intends to live up there. Thank you.
All right, I will second that. Is there any more discussion?
Was there any comments from the Plan Commission?
Yes,
Robin?
we had, Jim Batiste contacted me and said that he has no issues with what is requested. And Steve Nass just wanted to make sure that there's a clarification that there be no living quarters upstairs and what the total height will be, because it's not written directly onto the petition itself.
The total height will be approximately 18'11", give or take fractions of an inch. And then, yeah, there will be no living quarters up there. It is pure dry storage space.
All right, thank you. So we have a motion on the floor. We've had some discussion. Are you guys ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor of approving the conditional use for Tim Esser, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. The conditional use is approved. Thank you very much, and thank you for the details, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, and Hope, I'm going to take the paperwork up to the town hall tomorrow for you to sign because I know these gentlemen have a county meeting coming up very quickly.
All right, so there is paperwork to sign at the town hall.
All right. Thank you, Robin. If you need
All right.
anything transferred to the county, Robin, just give me a call and I can move things around from there.
Okay,
All right, I will do that in the morning, and I will leave that there in Sharon's treasurer box for you, okay?
okay, that's fine.
All right. Okay, moving on. Item 9, old business. A, discussion and decision of buoy and pier placement services. Welcome, Joe, and I'm going to go on mute. You're going to give a little spiel, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thanks, Hope. Really just looking to move ahead the proposal, which is to take out and put in the 2 piers and the 24 navigational buoys. Also, oh, sorry. And then there's an additional 4 buoys that were in the marsh that weren't in the original bid. I think that those should be included along with the swim ropes. The proposal is that we look at a contract for perhaps 4 years, total cost of $5,000 per year to do that, and then an hourly rate to take those, any maintenance or any repair services that are done. So that's really the proposal that I put together and circulated.
All right. I guess I'll give you guys a little background here. I did make a trip over to the shed to look at the buoys. They are in abysmal shape. We have an accurate map with GPS locations of all of the buoys that are in the lake proper. I do not believe, Joe, that the 4 buoys that are in the marsh have ever been approved or are part of our system, but we're going to continue to work on that. I have spoken with Joe about this. I agreed to the idea that a 4-year contract is a good idea just because it protects the town in the sense that we have someone dedicated to do this. And what Joe and I have talked about is a need to redo or renew some of these buoy systems, chains, links, swivels, carabiners, all those kind of things in the next few years if we could get that accomplished. I understand as a small business person the costs involved with the insurance and the liability of this job. I'm happy to have Joe on board as far as we are, and I guess I'll look to you guys for the rest of the details.
Hope, as far as the 4 buoys in the marsh, they were, when I was chairman, I went out with Scott Irwin. We GPSed those 4, and they were on the map at that time. So I don't know.
All right, well, we'll make sure they get on there because I was not aware of that and they're not on the official list. So we'll do that.
Well, there should be a map with them on and everything. That was all done. So there was a map and they were GPSed and given a number and everything. So I don't know if you've got an outdated list or map, but.
Well, whatever I have is not up to date with those other 4 buoys.
Okay, so maybe we should, Robin, if you could look in the files.
Yes, I'll look in the file to see, and I'll scan in what I have, and then Hope you can take a look at it, see and compare it with what you have.
That would be great. So how do you guys feel about the 4-year contract?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the $5,000?
What's the
It's
choice?
a lot of money, but I don't know. Is it, you still $75 an hour for additional work?
Yeah, that's what I put in there. I mean, I don't anticipate utilizing that much. I mean, it's really taking them and putting them out. Only thing I could suspect is if we're putting good links on them and we're maintaining them, I wouldn't expect that there'd be much chasing of buoys. The only thing my anticipation would be is hope is that, you know, or someone would call and say, hey, can you go check one or move one once in a while? But I don't anticipate a lot of that. The benefit I think that I bring is that I'm on the lake too. So I think a lot of this can be done pretty straightforward. I mean, quick check or whatever.
My suggestion would be is when those buoys come out from the season would be to make a list so that all of the parts and all of the blankets or whatever they call them, the glow room, that all that stuff can be gotten over the winter and the pre-maintenance done so that they're not in a shambles when it comes time to put them out. I think that would probably help you too.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a lot that can be done to improve probably the equipment that's there. You know, some of the buoys float low, you know, there's a couple new buoys there that could be put out to replace some of the older ones. So I agree, there's definitely maintenance that can be done. That shed that they're put in is fairly crowded too, and they're sort of stuffed in there. I don't know if, you know, damage occurs over the winter or not, but yeah, there's a lot that can be done to improve the overall process.
All right, what's your pleasure, sir? Sirs.
I guess we have to make a motion to approve Joe's new bid at $5,000 for a 4-year contract, plus the $75 an hour for anything that's out of the scope of installing and removing.
Second the motion.
All right, is there any more discussion? As you approach the piers and the buoys, Joe, you and I can work together on what we need as far as supplies go. And Robin, you're going to need to be in the loop on that. We've discussed buying those supplies and things from Royland Buoys, and we'll need your support for that. They do have an account for us set up, and we'll go forward from there.
Are you,
Okay.
Hope, when you did your inventory, were you looking at new wraps or new buoys?
Actually, there are 2 new buoys still in the box, so I think we're covered because there's a couple that have caps off. I don't really know the system well enough to know, you know, where to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and you do, Joe. You know that.
Yeah.
Which goes in which location.
Yeah.
One of the things that's pretty disheveled about them is the rope system that they're all suspended by. They really need to be hung from chains. They need some swivels. They need those kind of things. And I thought if we started and renewed a few of them this year and kind of worked at that, I think we'll have a better grasp on it as we go forward.
Yeah.
You know, there's no getting around it. Everything in that shed is just like at the end of the year, everything kind of gets sandwiched in there.
Yeah.
There's signs and stuff. We're going to need to go in there and inventory what's there. Most of those buoys are in pretty good shape. I think maybe only 2 of them had caps popped off, and we can replace those with those new ones, you know? I just think we need to go at this in a little more scientific and inventoried way.
Yeah.
So we have a motion on the floor. All in favor of approving it, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you, Joe. And as you know, everyone's chomping at the bit, but you go at
I'll
it
get on
if you can.
Yeah, I'll get on it this week and this weekend. Definitely the pier this week, and hopefully
Yeah,
this
all
week.
right. Great, we appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. We'll work on the contract and come back to you, okay?
Yeah, not a problem. No
All
worries.
right. Okay, thank you so much. All right, moving on, item B, discussion and decision on a request for informal proposals for our town attorney. I did write that RFP and make it due on June 9th because I was pretty sure that May was going to be like this, and I didn't want to discuss it that way.
Yeah, the actual deadline for submittal on the proposal on the copy that I have does say May 12th. And then the decision is May or June 9th.
Okay, all right. So how would you guys like to go forward? We do have, I think you saw in your packets, a couple of proposals.
There's 2 in your packet and then 1 that came today that I scanned and emailed to you, but I will get you a hard copy right away.
All right. Would you guys like to interview some of these candidates, or would you want to do this kind of a Zoom with a candidate or 2, or how do you want to do this?
Does anybody know any of these, the two that we have, or the third one too? Does anybody worked with them before?
I have worked with Eric Larson and William Cole.
And William Cole is at Axley Bertelson and, what's the name of that firm, Rob?
Oh, I usually refer to it as Axley. It's got a long name.
And where does Eric work? What is the name of that firm?
Eric is part of the Municipal Law and Litigation Group.
Did he submit anything?
He did. He was the one that arrived today.
Okay, all right.
And then
I don't
the
know.
third one was at Consignee, which I'm not familiar with them.
I don't quite know how to approach this.
We haven't seen the other offer either, so I don't know if we really can do anything. As long as it came in on time, correct, Robin? Because you said it was here today.
Yes, I picked it up in today's mail.
All right, why don't we do this? Got an idea?
I was just gonna ask if there was anything different in the municipal law one that you read today than what he submitted on May 2nd, March 2nd.
I did not
Did you have-
see anything different. When I glanced through it, I didn't read it line for line because there's quite a bit here, but it's very similar to what he submitted prior.
Okay, so the price was $199 an hour if we retained him versus $250 if we did it just on an hourly basis with him.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the prices here for you.
I guess the only other question I had, I read the other two, this Consignee law firm, the one's out of Janesville. They don't mention in their proposal anything about intergovernmental agreements, which I think is a big issue that's going to be coming up. I guess that would be my only question to them. The other one did mention intergovernmental agreements.
All right.
That would be my only question to any of them. And he was the lowest dollar amount at $155.
Right, yeah.
If you'd like, I can read off what Eric had proposed for his amounts.
Well,
Yeah,
why
go
don't
ahead.
you just supply that to us? You know, you can send that out by email to us. And we definitely
did.
have three candidates. I haven't seen it yet today, but we do have 3 candidates. And I suggest that if you have questions of those firms, that you guys make those phone calls yourself and ask those people how they're going to go ahead. That makes sense? Because I don't think we can really meet again.
Not
And
without
then-
posting.
Yeah, and then we'll have a little bit of background to go on when we make our decision in June.
Okay,
All right, next item. Item 10, new business. A, discussion and decision on appointments for the Town Planning Commission, Joint Rock Lake Committee, Joint ATV Regulatory Board, Extraterritorial Zoning, Lake Mills Fire Department. There's a whole list of things. I guess this is kind of my bailiwick. We are all serving our terms. We have voted to appoint Vince Guerrero as our municipal court judge for a 1-year period, so that should be on our document. 2-year terms that were coming up on the Planning Commission were Jim Batiste. He has agreed to serve another 2 years, so he will stay until 22. Steve Nass is staying until 22. Steve Zekoff is staying until 22. So that committee remains pretty much the same, and I'm assuming, Jim, that you would extend your term through 21.
yes.
Please, thank you. The Joint Rock Lake Committee is going to be Larry Clark, till 22, Wes Dawson till 22, Stan Spineski's term ends in 21. Glenn Zastro has retired and we will be honoring him maybe in June, we're not exactly sure. He has been replaced and Bob Volnek will stay on another 2 years, I guess, through the city. The library board, we really do not have a seat to fill.
Actually,
Jim,
I was just appointed by the city to the library board.
the town has no say in that?
I applied through the through the city, and I know Pam Strike has stepped down because she's retiring, so she's no
Right.
longer on.
Term ends when then, Robin? 22?
Yes, I believe it's 2 years.
All right. Okay, moving on. Joint CATV Regulatory Committee. Jim, you are still hanging on there from 18. I don't think they've met, have they?
No, I don't think there's a committee or
So that's-
regulatory.
That's kind of a moot point. I do think we have a good open relationship with the cable TV guys, and I certainly appreciate their time and effort. So I think we'll just let that one ride. I've spoken with John Reich, Public Works Board. John served a 3-year term up until 18. He retired at that time. He now is interested again in coming back and serving on the Public Works Board. That is a 3-year term. He does want to travel in the winter, and I said that if there were burning issues that the town was involved in, that I would take over for him in the winter months. And that is a 3-year term. So the understanding would be that John would be appointed until from 20 to 23, and that I will spell him when he is gone in the winter.
Okay.
Extraterritorial zoning is still Sarah Fitzgibbon, Lee Peterson, and Sarah Mushka. We revisited that a couple months ago, and they were both willing to do that. Boundary and Revenue Sharing Agreement Negotiation Committee, I think we're a little premature in that. Cambridge Fire Department representatives. You're gonna laugh now, aren't you? Yeah. Your
Yeah.
term never ends. There's a
That's
never
right. That's right.
And it says Lake Mills Fire Department Advisory Committee. I think that we have all worked together on that in the past, and I think that's how that should stay, since that's really only one meeting a year, and we
Yep.
can make that happen. So those are the appointments that I have secured. Is there anything else that I have neglected? Hearing none, I would then cast a motion, I guess, to say these are the appointments we have made. And I guess those will be confirmed at our annual meeting, huh?
Second.
You want to wait until then to do anything about it?
No, vote on it
That's-
now.
All right. I make a motion then to approve these appointments.
I seconded it, Hope.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in
When-
favor of approval?
Sorry, I was going to ask about the extraterritorial zoning. What is they're a 3-year term? When did theirs start and when did it end?
I don't know, but it says here in the minutes, it says term starts the first meeting in May and ends after the April meeting. So it's a 1-year appointment.
1 year, okay.
You know, it follows in line with our annual meeting, and of course that's all messed up, so. All right. The motion was passed, correct?
We gotta call the question.
All right, all in favor of approving the appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. All right, item B, discussion and decision on the refinancing of the state trust fund loan for Airport Road.
What's
Yes.
this about? I'm confused, totally confused. Are we,
So the application date from the Airport Road loan that was taken out last fall was later in the season, which causes the payments to not start this year, but rather in 2021, making a 2-year loan all due at the same time.
so in 2021, we're gonna owe 370.
77,000 something, yep.
And you've and we've already spent the 150,000 this year,
That was used to pay off the
London
previous
Road.
loan, London Road, and a portion of the first loan that was refinanced, which was, let's see, it was London Road, and then this, what was the second road that you guys had done?
Yeah, it would have been
Newville,
Newville.
thank you.
Airport and
London Road is-
Newville.
London Road's been paid for a couple of years already. So we had 2 payments for Newville Road, which this spring would have been the last payment. Then,
Correct.
so then we should have 1 payment due, for Airport Road. But I guess, if it didn't get in time, that's going to screw up our special assessment that we have. Although we already did borrow the money, so why couldn't we just still do the same assessment and then go ahead and make that payment in March? For half of it, and just, then refinance the other half to be paid off in 22.
Well, from what Robin has, information that she put in front of me for refinancing a loan, it says that they charge no fees for these loans, as you well know, and that when interest rates are going lower, as they are now, then that means that they would have everybody coming to them to refinance. And so they're saying that if we want to get out of this and refinance, that we have to borrow another 25% of that amount in order to change the terms of that original loan. And the whole rub on this is that we borrowed this in September. Had we borrowed it in August or July, it would be a different story. So I guess it's very confusing on how we could manage this.
Yeah, because I really hope that's going to be tough, because then what do we do come tax time? We're going to lose our, keep it as even as we possibly can. And we can't pre-collect it, because I know there was an article in the Towns Association meeting on exactly how this works. I don't know, Robin, did you?
Collect the levy?
Yeah.
I did actually inquire with the Towns Association about levies and what we can do as a municipality, and we can collect the levy and hold on to that.
Oh, okay.
Carol, the one attorney up there, did confirm that. I just had that. I'll forward that email to you guys so you have it. But that doesn't solve the issue we currently have,
No.
but for future use.
But it doesn't, Robin. But what we could do is we could collect that money, we could earmark it, and then if we have the special assessment for 20, and then earmark that, and then you have the next special assessment in 21, then we can make that full payment in 21.
The payment's due March of 21.
Okay, so yeah. So we
That's
would have,
only 150,000. We're a year behind on the levy.
Right. We're a whole year behind. We're already out of money, and we owe $360,000, and we have 1 year to collect 150,000. That's next year, and that
right.
that loan is due. We're 200 and some thousand short. And if you borrow or extend that loan out to 2023, you'd have to borrow 450,000. You'd have to borrow that extra 25%.
Yeah,
And then I don't-
25%, it's like $90,000, right?
Yeah, so you'd be at 450,000 then, and so you'd have in 2023, I assume it's only a 2-year loan, right?
Yes.
Right.
So that would be due in 2023. You'd have a 2021, 2022, and 2023. That'd be your 450,000 in order to make that work.
Yeah,
Plus some additional for the interest,
yes.
which you'd have to take it every year. That's the only way to see if this thing's gonna work. Someplace you got ahead of your head on 150,000 somewhere. You got, or it got lost or something. I don't know. Anyway.
It didn't get lost. Our book's balanced, Jim.
No, I know it didn't get lost.
Well, what happened is we borrowed too late in the season, and I did not know that. And I'm sure Robin was not aware of that when we went through with all of that paperwork in September.
Not until it was too late. And I think you were still trying to get numbers put together on top of it.
Well, we were still fluctuating because the road got done so very late in the season.
Right.
Well, I don't know how we're going to solve this problem.
Well, Robin, can you check with the state loan, and if we extended it, we could extend the whole thing another till 2023? I mean, is that?
I can see what that would look like for us. Like you said, it might be what, 450,000 to add that percentage that they require. Plus
Right,
interest.
plus interest. Right.
Okay,
And then
I can definitely do that.
I think that would work, wouldn't it? Because you've got a 2021 payment, a 2022 payment, and then a 2023 payment, which is 450,000. So you're going to get close.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
because then, go ahead, I'm sorry, Jim.
I think that's the only way you're going to get it, because we're 150,000 short right now. to
Right,
make the 20 If we leave it the way it is.
And I think then that would keep us on the same system we already have, because we are approved by our electors to borrow $150,000 a year for highway maintenance, or $300,000 every other year. So if you do that, the 150 times 3, that's your 450 right there. So that would work. It's just going to cost us more interest, is all.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. But this 150,000 does not count into the tax levy at all. Because
Correct. That's special assessment.
Right. So it doesn't. You can carry that over from year to year to year, no problem with the levy. That's the way I read the Towns Association book that came out this month.
Right. Okay.
Is that what you found out today, Robin?
Yes, that portion of it. But I also learned that Carol explained that if we collect 150,000, theoretically going into 2021, we can actually hold that 150,000 if we had chosen to all the way into 2022 until we gained another 150,000, and then had that money in hand before we did projects rather than actually apply for loans and then pay interest. Obviously in this case that's not going to happen this way, but in the future there's something to consider. There's no law that doesn't allow us to do that.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So you can hold that 150,000 because it was not a special assessment. It's not the tax levy. So you can hold that
Right.
from year to
Right.
year.
Right.
And I think that's what we're going to have to do. Going to have to do it this way, if we can.
So Robin,
then
you're
potentially on year 3, we would be able to subtract the interest out and be looking at, you know, a small project, because this money has to be earmarked and used for what it's earmarked for, which would be highway
Right.
improvement.
Correct. You'd have like a $90,000, well, $75,000 project somewhere
Yeah,
in the next year.
yeah.
You got a road and you want to do Mud Lake Road, I don't think there's a problem finding a problem.
Yeah, yeah. That stretch from G to the first corner is tough.
Okay. So the action we're going to take is we're going to ask Robin to go back to the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands and try to make this arrangement and go forward from there. All
Okay.
right. All right, I don't think we need a motion on that.
Just
Go ahead.
borrow the least amount of money you have to, though, till 2023.
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said I think it's 450,000, but the least amount that you have to borrow is what we want to borrow, 2023.
I agree.
Okay. I got that. All right.
So whatever the 25% is, right? Is that what you're thinking, Jim?
Yeah, it's like Hope said, about $90,000, something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's over 450,000.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Sure puts a wrench in my works.
Yeah. Plan A fails again.
All right, well, live and learn. We need to keep our borrowing scheme current. It's difficult, though. All right, item C, discussion and decision on renewal of the insurance with the Horton Group. I didn't read the 150-page policy.
Me either.
And no one requested to
were-
come to our meeting and make a presentation, did they?
No, they did not. And there was very few changes. In fact, I just completed the workers' comp audit for them. So it's basically what we've been using.
Okay. All right. What's your pleasure? I don't think we're changing horses in the middle of the stream. I would motion to approve the renewal of the insurance with the Horton Group.
Second
There's-
the motion.
All right, thank you. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the renewal, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Item D, board expense sheet approval.
I don't have any. The one thing that will come up, if we decide to continue the Zoom or we are required to, the monthly fee is $14.99 that I've been putting on my credit card. You saw that in the disbursements this month, and I may just continue to put it in the disbursements that way until we no longer need this, and then I'm going to cancel the subscription.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Item 11, correspondence.
I have a list if you want me to go through that. First one, of course, as you've seen, I'll just continue to forward the emails of any complaints from the Daybreak Foods for the smell and the fan noise. I've got a letter from Ben Yankee about a proposal for a land purchase to allow him to build a garage, which is a sliver of land that the town owns in Short Hills. I'll give you the copy of the letter so you know what I'm talking about. He just recently contacted me about that, and we may want that on the next month's agenda. Then I've got a letter from Jefferson County Zoning about the amendment for Daybreak Foods, conditional use, which I will forward to you guys. Let's see, I've got a letter from the town web design about updating the town website. It sounds like it has not been updated for a while. And biggest thing is the security, to make sure we don't get hackers onto the website, things like that. Upgrade some of the other features on it. And I've asked them to put a quote together, so I've got that as well. We can discuss that. May not be something we can consider this year because we haven't budgeted for it, but I think we can start the process now so we're ready for next year. And then I received the county bridge aid form as well as the county highway aid form. So if we would like to entertain that in June, we need to consider putting that on the agenda. And then I got a notification that the town of Oakland is considering an amendment to their farmland preservation plan. It's right at the corner of Highway A and Highway 18. It's currently considered farmland, and they want to switch it to a 15-year growth area for development.
Okay. That's what you got for correspondence.
That's what I got. Other than I can add to that the Form CT has been done and is submitted, balanced. We're all good there.
Right. I have this ongoing list on my desk. Things that have been, you know, kind of on hold here. We talked last month about Tim Johnson, Tim Esser, this Luke, and then the Schwartz property. Also, I don't know, Robin, we have not decided anything about Board of Review, but I will be doing that Board of Review training because I signed up for that workshop, and I will be the certified member then on our board.
Okay. I believe Jim is still certified as well, and I think I might be as well. I had to double check the records.
All right. I still haven't received the letter that you drafted, Jim, to Mrs. Lovejoy. I'd like to have that in my files. I keep working with.
I apologize. That was me.
That's all right. I keep working with Wes Dawson on the Cedar Lane riprap and the Shorewood Hills Pond. He's trying to make some progress there. That's kind of ongoing. The other thing that's going to come before us, and I have the paperwork and so does Robin, the town of Oakland is working with us on an agreement for the traffic from the asphalt plant that will be coming online on Hope Lake Road. There is a 25-year road agreement that the town of Oakland has drafted. They, I think, will be looking at that this week or next week in their board meeting. I told them we would be putting this off until June, so you will have that document to look at in this next month. Other than that, I guess we will need to wait and see what happens with the bounce back program to see if we are going to have an annual meeting in June. I guess we just have to wait, right? No one's gonna say anything.
We're hoping we're all back to normal by then, I think.
Well, I think we are all hoping to be back to normal, but if we're not, then we're gonna have to be flexible. And I guess we're gonna need to make that call sometime a couple weeks before that meeting, don't you think?
Yes, and if we have to do a special meeting of the board, we can use Zoom again. I can post it and we can postpone the annual meeting again. And at the bottom of your agenda, you'll see that I have talked to the town assessor about the Board of Review date being postponed anyways, and we'll have to do that at the June meeting.
Okay.
Or just after the June meeting as a separate item. He's not anywhere ready with doing the renewal this year, so.
All right. The bridge aid forms, I guess that's something that you could share with me. We should be able to apply for those bridge aid for Mud Lake Road for that culvert that we put in there.
Okay.
So if we need to get together to work on that paperwork, or if you can do that without me, whatever, however it works, you know?
Yeah, usually I call Alex up and she kind of steps us through it, so.
Well, it's no big deal. You just have to have the invoice and then fill out the paperwork. So if you want help with
Right.
that, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Okay, anything else you guys want to bring up before we sign off here? Because I think this is difficult, all of us in a different place in a different time.
Do you have any idea when they're gonna open that pit up on Hope Lake Road? I'm kind of being questioned about the intergovernmental agreement because there's supposed to be like 50 to 75 trucks a day going in and out of there.
Oh, well, you will be forwarded the agreement that Oakland's attorney has gone over. And I've been working with our engineer about how to make sure we get covered in this too.
Sure.
When I talked to Tom Amon, I talked to him earlier or late last week. He said that they would not be running until after June 10th for sure. So I don't know what their volume will be, and I don't know how they're gonna work that out.
Right.
So you carefully look over that agreement. Mary Bailing is their attorney. She did a best job on it. She said, if you're going to do this, you're entering into this for 25 years, so you darn well better know what you're getting into. So you put your mind to that agreement, and we don't have to accept it if we're not happy with it. We can make changes.
Right,
So,
yeah, because that becomes kind of difficult because, you know, that's a shared road, but we maintain it, you know, so.
well, that section, yeah.
Yeah.
And there is part of that agreement that says that we will do the inspection in March and September. So I said, you know, that kind of goes in the face of our normal behavior, but we thought we could probably accommodate March and September so that the repairs would be made before winter.
Sure. Yeah, because when they did the Hollenberger pit, which they're going to be using pretty much that same section of road, I don't think there was any intergovernment agreement when that was done that I can remember anyway.
Okay.
I
Well,
I think it's good they're doing it.
Yeah, I think it was just done with Oakland. The only thing now, Dave, is they're, according to this proposed agreement, that they're gonna use Crossman Road, and they're gonna, before they used to just come out of the pit, go east on Hope Lake Road and then take Bigelow out.
Correct, yes, yeah.
Now, according to this agreement, they're opening up Crossman Road, Bigelow Road, and then they're going to the west over to A, and they're coming from G. So
Yeah.
I no problem with this.
Yeah, I do too. Especially with the curve when you get east of Bigelow Road. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to see the agreement, but I agree with you, Jim.
Well,
I'll put a
It's
hard
our-
copy in your baskets tonight when I take the other paperwork up.
All right, thanks, Robin.
it's our call, you know, you can look at it. He never came to us. He just went to them, and then that's the way they wanted it written. And I'm just like, well, whatever, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but now more of the roads are in the town of Lake Mills than they are in Oakland. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go back to Capster with that comment, and we'll go forward from there. You guys study it, and we'll look at it again in June.
All right, super.
On to item 12, meeting schedule. June 20th, Joint Rock Lake Committee. I talked with Wes the other night. They're thinking they might skip their meeting. Planning Commission, kind of same thing, to be announced. June 9th will be our annual meeting of electors, if we can make that happen. Also the regular town board meeting, and then we will look at the Board of Review. It'll be postponed on that date until another date is set. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there anything else?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone.
See you later, gang.
All right, thank you.